Alright, what's up, y'all? Today we got an exciting video. Got myself a little morning coffee. And if you're wondering to yourself, Zach, are you wearing the same t-shirt as yesterday? The answer is yes. Because today we're gonna be getting down and dirty. And I'm not taking no shower. Just to get dirty in. But I will probably be changing clothes into my designated old creamer, new creamer. In my designated car working clothes. I don't know if you guys have those, because I have two Doing Donuts t-shirts, like the Dunkin' Donuts thing, and those are my designated car working t-shirts because they're black. Don't mind if I get them a little dirty, as well as like some old jogging pants. Perfect working on car stuff. Can't be wearing nice stuff like this or else I will cry. We're gonna be doing a very exciting install. Let's get to it. So right here is our very exciting package. I literally had to pull it out of storage because I've actually had this package for like at least a month now, maybe a month and a half. But we didn't actually own that car until just recently, so I didn't want to start doing stupid stuff to it without owning it. That would just be a waste of time. But we've got Swift springs here. To me, this was like the best upgrade because they have the highest spring rate, and I mean everybody knows if you order coilover, Swift springs are just the best springs. I think it's like $400, but let's dig into it. Also, this packaging that it came in is low-key badass. Kind of love it. Jeez. These things are freaking huge, bro. It's crazy. Got our rear springs. Those are the front springs. It's all wrapped up pretty nice. Christmas. And here we've got our rear springs, slightly less massive. Pretty freaking sick. So these are our rear springs. They look very stiff. Now let's get ready to throw them on there. Alright, first things first, we're gonna run to Fed's behind me. Not really, but Fed looking ass truck. First things first, we're gonna run to AutoZone because we want to get spring compressors. Obviously, this is my like daily driver, so luckily the E36 works. So if I need to go anywhere, I can still go places. But definitely less comfortable way of transportation. But we also need to get an adapter for my impacts, because I don't know what the hell happened to it, but I can't use my impacts for like anything because I hardly have any 1/2 inch sockets. It's all like 3/8 inch, so I usually use an adapter, but I can't find the adapter. Also, I need a 3/8 ratchet because I broke mine and like 2 months ago and I just never bought one, so I definitely need one of those. So we're gonna run to AutoZone and hopefully get all 3 of those. Oh God. We've got the goods. So if I had to describe the way that these current springs feel, it definitely does not feel sporty. It just feels like a comfort sedan type feel. But it definitely is comfortable for long road trips. Like I can DoorDash in this thing for fucking 12 hours a day and not feel like uncomfortable in the car really. Besides obviously having been sitting for 12 hours. So that is a pro for the stock suspension. The goal with these springs, hopefully, because they're not nearly as stiff as any sort of coilovers, is to get just a tiny bit stiffer, hopefully not too much stiffer going straight, but just a little bit more feeling connected with the car, and hopefully a tiny bit more, or a tiny bit less actually, body roll and curves and tight corners and turns and stuff like that, which could also be remedied by sway bars, which hopefully we'll be doing soon. But that is the goal. Now we're gonna do a little slalom test beforehand. Alright, now that we have a decently clean working environment, free of all BMW oil spillage, you can go ahead and pull the Civic in. I'm going to try and pull it as close to the wall as possible, and I'll probably just do one corner at a time. I think we're going to start with the back because it seems really easy. I watched the YouTube video. It's basically like 2 bolts for the rear. The front looks a lot more involved, so we'll go ahead and start with that and get our confidence boost up. And yeah, we'll just get to it. Alright, so we got the back right all finished up. It's honestly super easy. The fucking car is like on one jack stand. I don't know why, but it'll move up and down a little bit, and it's scaring the shit out of me. It's still like the jack stand is in the right spot, so it can't fall on me, but you could like push it up a little bit. Not fun. But it's literally 2 bolts. The hardest part literally that I had was lining up the rubber pieces on the spring into those little 2 holes, which wasn't hard. And also it's nice because it's not like a bolt and a nut. It's like the nut is welded onto the arm, so you literally don't even have to hold the nut. You just zap the bolts off and you're good. So we're gonna do the other side and then start over on the front. Bird crime scene right here. I got bulbs. Shout out to my parents for bulbs. Alright, we've got rear driver and passenger side done. The mosquitoes are out in full effect. Biting the shit out of my ankles, so I just took a mosquito repellent shower. And now we're gonna move on to the front. Also, if you want to do this yourself and you're nervous, of course, like I said, the front should be harder. There's quite a few more bolts, and the way the strut is held is definitely more complicated, and of course we got to take the springs off the strut. But that rear driver's side literally took me 10 minutes, like not exaggerating. Like probably if I timed it, about 10 minutes. Not hard at all. Alright, here goes a mini moment of truth. So basically we just have the rear side done, but we're kind of gonna get a little sneak peek what it looks like fully finished. Definitely looks a good bit lower. You can't even tell that much right here. Like it went from like 4 finger to 2.5 finger fitment, but the rear bumper looks so much closer to the ground. So let's go ahead and finish up the front side and we'll see what the whole thing looks like all finished. Basically halfway done with the driver front side, which is our last corner. The passenger front took me freaking forever, but I literally got halfway in like 5 minutes on the second one. I just took a little toast and jam brake because the impact is like freaking dead and it's useless. So I've got it on the charger. It says it's green now. It's only been like 15 minutes, so it's probably not that charged, but at least charged enough to get through this. And so yeah, tip if you're gonna do this yourself. So the common sense thought is put everything back together the way you took it apart. You don't want to do that. So I did, like, when you're taking stuff apart, I go sway bar, and then the bolt holding the strut to the like knuckle thing, and then the 3 underneath, and then you pop the strut out of the knuckle, and then you do the 3 on top. You don't want to do it the opposite way, like that. When you're putting stuff back together, you want to put the strut in the knuckle, tighten that up, and then put the strut on the top 3, and then do the bottom 3. Because if you try and do the bottom 3 first, I mean, maybe you could do it if you had 2 people, but I unfortunately don't have three hands and 15 fingers, or else I might be able to do it that way. But it's not gonna happen. Just do it the way that I said, and it'll be 10 times easier. So we basically just gotta throw these new springs on there, tighten it all up, and throw it all back together. Shouldn't be too much longer, trying to get done before sundown. Also, the first time I put the spring compressors on, I think I did it once on my old Lexus, where we're using the spring compressors, but I went to do it and then I went to zap the nut off the top, and then as soon as I go to like zap it off the top, the neighbor like started their car up and it's kind of loud. It scared the fucking shit out of me. But yeah, we haven't had any problems with that. I'm also gonna leave the bump stops. Apparently Swift, most people cut their bump stops, but Swift says not to, so I'm just gonna leave it. I'm pretty sure you could cut them on the car, so it's not like a giant deal either way. But yeah, let's get back to work. Everything's all nice and snug. We just gotta throw the wheel on, drop her down. Well, it's time for the final moment of truth. Lost a thumb in my glove. Got stuck in one of those last 3. Also, okay, those last 3 on the bottom are the biggest pain in the ass. So if you're doing it, go put the strut in the knuckle, tighten that, and then put the 3 up on top, but don't tighten them. Just put them on there so it won't fall down until it's at like the correct height, so you don't have to jack it, and then you can move it, because I was trying to do it when it's tight and it won't move. Pain in the ass, but here we go. Still racing the sun. It's pretty much down, so we'll see with that. But all right, here we go. I like it. It might not be as low as like thought it would be, but I'm happy with it. I'm basically just looking for like sports car fitment, not friggin' slammed shit. And it doesn't look like a complete monster truck anymore. We also got more stuff coming to complement the stance, if you know what I mean. But yeah, also it's hard to tell with the wheel turn like that, but let's pull it out and see what it looks like from the side. Lugs are torqued. I feel like this is the way the car should have came from the factory. It looks so cool. Yeah, so it literally went from like 4 fingers to like 2.5, which isn't crazy at all, but I love it and shouldn't give me any sort of problems in terms of rubbing or anything, which is perfect because this is still going to be the daily DoorDash car, but it's just enough to make it look a little bit cleaner. Looks so good with the no badges, and out of breath from torquing those lug nuts. And no badges, plus 1 inch lower is freaking awesome. And we haven't even driven it yet, so I gotta go take it for a drive. First, I'm gonna spin it around so we can get those after pics. Alright, y'all, we're gonna go take this bad girl for a spin. I got the triple suction cup set up, so we're gonna be whipping this thing a little crazy to see how it does. I'm very excited. I did take it for a little U-turn, but wasn't able to tell too much from that. So let's see how she do. Fortunately, we don't have too many turns here in Arizona. It's just, if you literally take a look at the map, it's like the most geometrical shaped fucking map you'll ever see. The camera hasn't fallen off, so that's good. Little slalom test. So it definitely feels a little bit like sharper with the steering. Doesn't feel as fucking sloppy. Gonna hit a bump right here. I like it. It feels more stiff for sure, but it feels like more connected with the car. It almost feels like fucking weird, like the other way. It already feels so much better. I don't even really see this getting more annoying on road trips. I could see it if you're like fucking coilover stanced out, cambered out type vibe. You got like 20k spring rates and you're just fucking doing that the whole time. But gotta let the car warm up a little bit too. I feel like I've probably said that like 60 times in videos before. Gotta let the car warm up. Yeah, it already feels incredible. I definitely gotta get in alignment now. Also, I guess maybe the springs will settle a little bit as well. Oh man, it definitely feels sportier already. Like just taking a turn, it feels so good. But it's definitely not dramatic. It's pretty subtle. I don't hear any rattles or anything yet either, which is good. In terms of like the car feeling lower too, you can tell it's lower like sitting in the seat, but not by that much. I mean, it is just 1 inch, but it is noticeable for me. Like when I get in the E36 compared to this car, obviously, I mean, it's got fucking bucket seats too, so you're fucking sitting in there, but buddy going 25 and a 45. Hell yeah. Turn kind of quick, see what happens so the camera doesn't fly out. Yeah, that feels good. Before, I feel like I would fucking fly into the tour car. That might have been a tiny bit exaggerated. Not by a lot though, because the fucking car would body roll so much. It definitely feels more fucking connected with the road. It could be placebo. I don't think so. Another fast turn right here. Yeah, that feels fucking awesome. It feels 10 times sportier. It could be in my head. I don't think so. Cause like I could make it do that before, but like it just felt so bad that like in the turn I'm like, why am I even doing this? That one felt good. And like I said, it's not fucking like on rails, but it definitely feels like you can just feel the turn more. Before I just had to like do what I know to do. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll have another turn here in a sec. Car's warm too now, so hopefully we can catch a green light, so that way I can just take a right hand turn at like 30 miles per hour and see how it feels. It feels great. I love it. This is like the perfect balance between like fucking going crazy coilovers and like nobody wanting to ride in the car with me because it's so fucking stiff. This is like perfect. It just feels like a more sportier version of before. And we got a green light. Actually, it's a yellow light, but we're gonna go through it anyways. Going like 30. Power through it. Can't see shit because the camera. It feels great. It's just slightly sportier than before. It's definitely not like track car mode, but I'm digging it. Now we're gonna spin it around so I can go ahead and do those slalom tests. Not sure how much of a difference you're gonna be able to tell with those slalom tests, to be honest, but this thing looks freaking perfect. It's like exactly what I wanted, just like OEM Plus type vibe, like just a little bit more sporty, because it's like missing that something, even though it's a sport model. But man, it looks so dang good. I freaking love it. And we also got a couple more things coming just to improve the stance a tiny bit more, but I think this height is freaking perfect for just a sporty daily driver. Freaking awesome. Alright, well, if you guys like that video, drop a like. Help support the channel. Catch you guys next time.